Good morning. I think we should call this Laughing Yoga on Fridays with Sharon. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today. Oh, of course, this is our wonderful Rainbow Tribe Yoga. I'm so excited that we can practice today. A great way to start our weekend, hopefully, for all of us. So today we're going to talk and practice the art of presence, the art of being in the present moment. So, when we talk about focus is typically something that you can focus perhaps on one thing. Whereas being present is the ability to be able to hold your attention on many different things simultaneously. And it's kind of like, I was reading a wonderful book by Pema Chodron, who is a Buddhist teacher. And she was talking about, just this ability to, when you're doing an activity and kind of noticing all the different kind of aspects of that activity. And I actually did it last night while doing dishes. I was like, oh, I noticed the water, I noticed the tap, I noticed the sensation of the suds kind of touching my hands. And it's that presence that we're going to invite in today for our practice, and hopefully something you can take with you maybe for the weekend, maybe whatever you needed, whenever you're out there, just kind of reminding ourselves to be in the here and the now. So let's go ahead and we're going to find a comfortable position. Now I encourage you to sit up on a blanket or lie down, and we're really going to invite whatever position feels comfortable. So if you're in a chair and that feels good for your body, go ahead and do that. And today we're just going to let our attention kind of seep in, bringing some awareness to where we are right now. Remembering that what happened even 2 seconds ago is no longer with us. It's now in the past. And whatever is going to happen hasn't happened yet. So all we have is this present moment. This idea of this is happening right now. Be here now. And that's going to be our mantra for today. So this is happening now. Be here now. And acknowledging that as we even just sit here, every moment that goes by is a new moment. It's a new opportunity to shift that focus. So take this moment to just do whatever it takes to feel good right now. Maybe you've got a little itch on the tip of your nose, or maybe your neck is a little bit tight and you want to just give it a couple of rotations. Just really invite whatever in this moment feels good for you. And just first bring your attention to your body. Your attention to right now, where's my knee? Where's my feet? Where are my hips? Where's my low back? How is my back and my shoulders feeling? Where's my mind at? Know that in any moment, things can change. Things, thoughts, feelings can shift. And let's acknowledge that beautiful, magical idea of that things can shift in a split second. We can go from coming to our mat and have a fatigued, tired, maybe stressed out space, but then we can choose to shift that and shift being in the here and the now to a different direction. That we have that within us. as you sit here or lay here or whatever you're doing, wherever you are, remind yourself that everything that you have, everything that you need is within you right now. In this very moment, you have everything you need. And I want you to take all of your attention to this present moment. And giving all the attention to what is happening now and nothing else. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. And today's mantra, if you choose to take it, again, you can choose something different. I'm going to invite you to use the mantra of the be here now. So simply remind yourself to be here now. As we move through our practice today, give yourself the opportunity to repeat that mantra. And that will allow you to shift your thinking from where you might have been going, where you were, to being here right now. So as we take the next few series of breaths, some nice deep yogic breath to the belly, perhaps take this opportunity to repeat to yourself in japa form, or a japa japa, which is where we kind of repeat our mantra outwardly. A japa japa is you repeat it inwardly to yourself. But if you feel comfortable repeating this outwardly, and then, if you're alone in a room and it feels okay, feel free to repeat be here now as you breathe in and as you breathe out. As you're ready, go ahead. I'm going to say it a japa japa so I don't disturb anyone. Take two more. Try to deepen the breath even further. Last one. Bring your hands to heart center. And just for the next 30 seconds, just let everything settle. And when you're ready, release your hands. And begin to flutter your eyes open. Let's go ahead and just tilt the head. If you're lying down on the floor, maybe if it's comfortable, go ahead and sit yourself up. If you don't want to, you can kind of rock your head side to side. I'm going to really encourage you today to take this opportunity to just allow yourselves to move in your practice today in whatever shape feels good for you. So again, honoring that moment of being in the present. And as we move today, maybe you might have another calling. There might be something saying, oh, I kind of want to do this today, or this is what my body needs. I want you to really acknowledge that today. Just let that be a bit of your guide, being present at the moment. So trying to honor whatever it is in that moment your body's calling for. And so there's no right or wrong. And that's kind of what I want to emphasize to you, is just let your body kind of dictate where you need to go today in this moment. Good. And then shake out the shoulders. Just let everything kind of loosen up a little bit. Wonderful. We're going to start our practice today standing. So whenever you're ready, go ahead and make your way off the floor. We're going to come to a standing position. We're going to start right at the top of the mat today. Now, if you have yoga blocks, and I know Susan just got 2, so I'm so excited. We're balanced here. So make sure you have your yoga block. You can have 1 if you want to. You don't need to use 2. We're just going to bring ourselves to the top of our mat. And we're going to bring our feet about hip distance apart. Just take a moment to kind of settle in here. Roll your shoulder blades back. Again, you can feel free to kind of give the neck a little wiggle woggle, whatever you want to call it. Maybe even take a moment to look down at your feet. Make sure that both feet are nice and equal. So your toes are nicely aligned, heels are nicely aligned. Your knees are nice and soft, your elbow joints, your shoulders, just kind of nice and relaxed here. Now let's go ahead and lift up through the toes and just take a moment here to press in through the ball of the feet and the heel. I'm really just kind of inviting this connection, this 4-point connection to the base of the soles of the feet. And lifting up the toes is a nice way just to invite that kind of front to back, try to find that balanced space. And it's actually quite a challenge to really invite this equal side. So seeking this balanced state, which is really ultimately what we try to do in yoga, is we're always seeking this balanced state of mind, balanced body, and just inviting this awareness and presence to just acknowledge, all right, maybe there's one side that feels a little different without judgment. So as you're here, just maybe close your eyes. Toes are still lifted, so we're still energizing through the balls of the feet. Notice the 2-point connections at the top of the feet. And actually, I just instinctually opened up my palms. Again, this is kind of where my body wanted to go today, and finding myself almost in like this Tadasana position. So palms are open, shoulders are externally rotated, chest is open. If this feels good for you, you can always rest your hands up the side if that feels better. And just take a moment to be here right now. Just be in this new shape, this new position of your body, noticing the soles of the feet connecting down to the floor. Even see if you can kind of find this middle point between the outer edge of the foot and the inner side of the foot. Kind of finding that equal balance. And then when you're ready, go ahead and start planting each toe down. Maybe begin with your pinky toe and spread the toes out really wide. I always find that a funny thing to do because my toes don't really stretch, but I'm going to give it a go. Actually, my left toes don't stretch. My right toes are like flaring out. And just balance that in and just take a moment to notice how this feels. Maybe for some, this feels really grounded. Just take that moment to acknowledge how this feels. And from here, let's go ahead and roll the shoulder blades back and down. Keeping the feet grounded into the earth. Loosening up through the shoulders. Good. And then let's go ahead and reverse our circle, opposite direction. Kind of working through the shoulder. I've got still my eyes nice and closed. Again, this just, for me, allows me to really tap in physically. Also helps me kind of drown out this desire to get distracted by outer things in the room. Just for now, we're going to do that. Good. And then bring your shoulders back to this neutral space. Wonderful. And continue to anchor in through the feet. And we're just going to allow our hands to kind of slowly kind of rotate side to side, letting the arms kind of fan out. Again, if you don't want to rotate, Feel free to continue to roll through the shoulders, maybe move through the arms in another way, and just gently rotating. Now, as I've grounded my feet down into the floor, I want you to think of any of these rotations as an upper thoracic rotation. So try to keep your navel facing forward so you're not rotating too much into the low back. Quite yet. We might switch that up a little bit though. Good. Keeping that both feet grounded equally. Even as you rotate, there might be this desire to shift your weight from one side to the next. Try to see if both feet can be nice and grounded. Good. And then from here, if you want to, you can start to even shift your foot. Bend your knees. Again, there's going to be, bring the navel with us. Just allow some nice movement. Again, continue to press in through the ball of the feet. Let the arms kind of swivel side to side. Just notice how this feels, being here now. Good. And whenever you're ready, we'll just slowly come back to center. Just kind of bring it back in. Just let the palms open, the chest open. Wonderful. And then let's go ahead and we're going to take a few nice big inhales here. So sweep the arms up overhead, reaching tall. And then exhale, you can draw your hands back through center, or maybe you just want to create some big circles on the in as you reach up overhead, or exhale, let your hands flare out and kind of opening up the chest as you breathe in. See if you can grow a little taller. See if you can continue pressing through the feet. Maybe putting a little bit of pressure into the feet, inviting a little bit of this almost imaginary separation of the mat. And that's just going to get the outer sides of the muscles of the leg, the lateral side of the muscles of the leg, really nice and engaged. So maybe you've got a little bit of pressure into the feet, trying to separate the mat. You're not physically separating the mat, but there's just this awareness. This awareness that you're engaging the muscles, your feet are pressing down to the floor. Well, let's do one more big inhale and one more big exhale. And then when you're ready, we'll all meet on an inhale with our arms outstretched, shoulders drop down. Let's take that right hand down the side of the right leg. Continue to press in through the feet. Now, I'm not encouraging you here to be rigid here. I want you to just bring some awareness to the feet, but also invite a little bit of softness. Just notice how this feels. And then go ahead on your inhale, sweep the right arm up and over, and exhale, lean over. Just notice how this feels. And let's just take a moment to just kind of flow here from one to the other. And each time is a different time. Each time is taking you into a new presence, a new now. Just notice how each time can feel a little different. Without trying to think to ourselves, all right, this time I'm going to go deeper. This time I'm going to push a little harder. Just let your body guide you here. Just let your body kind of stream yourselves into each of these positions, each of these poses, just inviting that opening. And just see how bringing that awareness to each of the poses, how they're in the now. They were a few moments ago. That was a different pose. Now this is a different pose. Each time, just noticing the differences without judgment. So try to do this with no expectation. Let's do one more on either side. And then whenever you're ready, we'll just come right back. So take your time. We're going to come back. We're going to stay in mountain pose and just open up the chest. And then when you're here, just take a moment to just notice the body. Notice how this mountain pose maybe feels a little different. Maybe it doesn't. And then from here, we're going to move into our Sun Salutations A. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with some half Sun Salutations, and then we're going to go into the full Sun Salutation series. So let's first begin, press the feet into the floor. We'll begin to inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. And from here, let's swan dive our arms out to a strong T, hinge from the hips, come down to a forward fold. Now here, you want to take your block and find this forward fold with a little lift, raising the floor to meet you. Please do. From here, we're going to inhale, coming to our Ardha Uttasana, so our half arch. Exhale, release down towards the floor, maybe to your mat, bend into the knees. Remember, feel what feels good for you. From here, inhale, sweep the arms up, reverse swan dive all the way up, press into the feet. Extend the arms up overhead, meet with your hands at heart center. Now we're just going to flow here. For the next 2 minutes, I want you to flow in this kind of half Sun Salutation and just acknowledge how each time you come into it, you're in a new present moment. Each time might need a little different. Each time might feel a little different. And we're going to just allow that to be our guide today. And if it doesn't look exactly as I'm doing it, who cares? Maybe you're going to do your own version of your half Sun Salutation here. Right? Maybe you want to do a chair pose. Maybe you want to, I don't know, move your arms in a different way. And that's really okay. That's really what I want you to embrace today. Taking each moment, because maybe that last Sun Salutation felt good, but this next one wants a little something different. I have a very fussy eater of a dog. And in one moment, she'll take her food, and the next moment, she'll be like, nope, don't want it. Same food. Same thing she liked the meal before. It's a little frustrating, I don't know why. but I also acknowledge that maybe that's not what she wanted in that moment. So the same thing with the body. Maybe your body's saying, yeah, that was good for that last one. But maybe I'm going to just hang out in mountain pose and just chill out there. Good. Let's do one more. Wherever you're at, we'll meet in mountain pose. Wonderful. Release the hands. Wherever you're at, whenever you're done, we're going to hang out here for a minute or two. When I say a minute or two, I mean just maybe about 5 or 10 breaths. Just notice how your body feels now in mountain pose. Come back to here. Notice how your feet feel. Maybe you start to feel a little more grounded. There's less effort trying to ground, but rather this natural kind of space that you're in right now. Wonderful. Great. Now next we're going to move into our full Sun Salutation A series. If it feels like you need to take a break at any time, or if it feels like you want to switch it up a little bit, feel free to. I'm going to take it nice and slow. So if you want to go a little faster, if you want to go a little slower, again, just acknowledge that moment, being in that present moment, being in that space. And if you want to do something different, like a half Sun Salutation, feel free to do that too. When you're ready, go ahead and sweep the arms up overhead. Take a full breath to the belly. Exhale, hinge from the hips, swan dive down towards the floor. You can bend the knees, allow the back of the legs to just relax. Go ahead and take your half arch. Lengthen through the spine. I want you to energize from your tailbone to the crown of the head. You don't want to lock into the knees, but you want to lengthen through the legs. Exhale, release down to the floor. Inhale, we're going to take the right foot back and take that step back into that low lunge. And we're going to keep the right and the left hands kind of framing the left foot. Just take a moment here, settle yourself in. And then when you're ready, take your left foot back. And we're going to meet in downward dog here. Hands are forward of the shoulders. Knees can be bent. Hips can be reaching up towards the sky. Take the arms and bring them right around the ears. And you want to draw the hips up towards the sky and draw the heels down towards the floor. Take a moment just to settle your body here in downward dog. It's our first one of the day. And then as you're ready, go ahead. If it feels good, start to shift your weight forward. Find your plank position. This is your new now. Take a moment here. Just notice where it feels without expectation or judgment. Just notice maybe you want to take your knees to the floor. And then when you're ready, we're going to go into Chaturanga. I'm going to take my knees down, set my feet flat, and I'm going to start to bend into the elbows, coming all the way down towards the earth. From here, keeping the shoulders pressed back and down, let's inhale, find our cobra. A gentle cobra, could be baby cobra, could be full cobra. It's our first back bend, so we might want to do this a little gently. And then exhale, slowly make your way back down to the floor. Inhale, curl your toes under. Start to transition from your belly to position into our downward dog. Hinging from the hips, lifting up, pressing down through the heels, widening through the hands, drawing the shoulder blades back and down. The knees are soft, hips are lifted. You take the left foot and bring it a little bit in towards center to create that base. Breathe in and draw that right leg up towards the sky. Again, it doesn't have to be high. There you go. Good. Soften your neck. Exhale, bend in the knee. Draw it all the way forward. Feel free to offer your right leg a little support as you bring it right between the two hands. Nice job. You can drop down to that knee if you want to for a moment. Finding your low lunge. From here, we're going to shift our left foot forward. Come back into your Uttanasana. Find your forward fold. Let your head drop, maybe bending through the knees. On your next inhale, we're going to come into Ardha Uttanasana, into our half arch. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release back down to the floor. Feel free to bend your knees. Inhale, press in through both feet. Extend the arms up overhead. And let's come right into our chair. Hinge on the hips, lengthen through the spine, drop down, way into the heels. Take a moment here. Now, when it starts to get hard, if it starts to get a little fatiguing, remind yourself you're here right now. Be here now, be in this moment. Do so without judgment. Inhale, extend the arms. Rest the hands at your heart center. Take a moment. Good. We're going to do that series all over again. Beautiful. When you're ready, again, you can do a half sun salutation. You can rest in child's pose. There's so many options. Maybe there's something completely different you want to do. When you're ready, inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, all the way down. Hinge from the hips, lengthen from the heart. Come down to your forward fold. Inhale, find your half arch. Roll the shoulder blades back. This time it's different. Notice how it feels different than the first one. You know what's coming up. Exhale, release down. Let your body hang and release. This time taking your fingertips to the floor and taking your left foot back. Finding your low lunge here. Energize through the shoulders. Lengthen through the back of the head, through the heel. Engage through the core. Take your right foot back. Find your downward dog. Maybe it's a little longer this time. Maybe you're reaching through your heels a little more without that force. Maybe you're softening through the shoulders. Take a breath. Now, as you roll, vertebrae by vertebrae, bringing yourself into your new now, find your plank. Hold here for a moment, just a moment. Energize through the hands. Go ahead and drop down to the knees. Set the tops of the feet to the floor. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders. Begin to bend the elbows and slowly come down with me. Heart down to the earth. Lengthen the body. Roll the shoulder blades back. Open up into your cobra. Pull in through the belly. Exhale, come back down. Curl the toes under. Find yourself back in your downward dog. Draw the heels towards the earth. And now we're going to take about 3 or 4 breaths here. And as you're here, renew your commitment to being in the here and the now. Be here now. Just remind yourself of your mantra. Wonderful. Take your right foot a little bit closer towards center. We're going to swoop the left leg up towards the sky. And again, maybe we're going to use a little help with the hands as we draw the left foot between the hands. Maybe get a little push there. And maybe not. Maybe this side feels a little different. Lengthen the spine. Put a little pressure into the left foot. Bring the right foot forward. Find your forward fold. Inhale. Find your Ardha Uttasana, your half arch. Lengthen through the spine. Lead with the heart. Exhale. Release down. Let your body hang for a moment. Inhale. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms. Press into the feet. Sweep the arms all the way tall. Come into your chair. Hinge from the hips. So notice how this feels. Maybe there's a little bit more movement through the joints. Maybe a little more depth. Again, the goal is not to seek for more, just to notice where we are right now. Press into the feet, extend the arms up overhead, draw the palms together, relax your hands to your heart center, or maybe open up the palms and find your Tadasana. Take a moment here. Be here with this right now. Have you ever had a day where 1 minute you're feeling one way, 1 minute you're feeling the next? I know I have. So maybe not, but 7 breaths ago you might have felt one way, but now you feel different. Just take yourself here. As you're ready, we're going to sweep the palms out to the side, and we're going to guide our palms down, our palms facing each other. Drop the shoulders. We're going to take the left foot a little closer to center as we extend the right leg long, finding our crescent pose. Now, when you're here, let's bend into that front knee. Let your body just settle down here, dropping through the shoulders. And if reaching the arms kind of up towards the ears doesn't feel good, bring them down towards the side, or even set them at your hips. Rest the ball of the back foot down. And just allow your body to settle in here into this hip opener. And if it feels okay, we can twist towards the left. And maybe a minor twist. Keep the belly facing forward. Maybe we're just going to stay in crescent. And then on your inhale, sweep both arms back up towards the sky. And then exhale, find your warrior 2. Adjusting the back foot, maybe coming in a little deeper, extending both arms out, drawing the navel kind of slightly out. Front leg is forward, opening up through that back leg. Take a moment to settle in here. And as you're ready, we're going to inhale and flow between our warrior 2 and a nice extended position through the front leg. Exhale, deepen. Now, as you do this, think of this idea of being here in the now. Notice how every time you open up, you may find yourself feeling a little more settled, a little more locked, a little more connected with the breath. Sometimes doing things over and over again is a wonderful way to reconnect, right? We're not distracted. We're not doing it for one brief moment, but we're really fine-tuning the movement. Breathe and just find whatever flow works for you. Maybe you're counting. Maybe you're taking a little break too. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more. Whenever you're ready, settle yourself back into warrior 2. Turn your gaze forward. Set your palm open on the front hand. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, find your reverse warrior. Letting the back arm kind of drift down the leg without forcing, just allowing it to settle in. Let your front knee just track on top. Take a breath here. And same thing, this time we're going to come from warrior 2 to reverse warrior, kind of finding some flow here. So breathing in, shift, open up. And again, do this as slowly as possible. Let's do 5. I don't know, 5 seems like the right number to do. And just notice the quality of the breath. Notice the quality of the movement. Notice how each time you extend your arms, maybe you can reach. Maybe you can simply just feel a little more awareness of what's happening in the body. Last one. And let's come back to warrior 2. Wonderful. Let's straighten that front leg. Release the arms to the side. Take the front foot. Draw it towards center. Finding yourselves in this kind of nice wide space. And then let's externally rotate the back foot. So that right foot. We're going to bend into that front knee. Swim the arms open. Come back to your warrior 2. Take a moment to settle in here. Remind yourself to be here in the now. Maybe we're starting to get a little tired. Maybe our arms are getting a little fatigued. Just remind yourself you can take a break. You can soften. As you're ready, let's swim. Reach the arms tall. Exhale, settle in. Just notice how this feels in your body. Notice as you're moving here and bringing this gift of awareness, of this presence, that you have the opportunity to change it at any time. There's the opportunity to adjust, to fix, to make more comfortable. This is all within you, right? I can say it, but ultimately it lies within you and your awareness of what it feels like. Why do I need to switch things up a little bit? What do I need to do? Everything we need lies within us, right? Let's do this one more time. Settle your arms, settle your arms. Inhale, shift your weight forward, palm open, find your reverse warrior. Maybe your gaze is up this time. Maybe one side just feels a little more open than the other. Then from here, let's take it into our flow, finding warrior 2. Shifting forward, palm sweeps up. Think of what you could do as you sweep your arms over. Maybe there's something you're trying to push away from you and let go. And just kind of flow here at your own pace. We're going to do about 5 of these. You can ground in even further into the front leg. Maybe you notice the quality of the breath, a little more deep. Wonderful. Let's do one more. And then we'll come back whenever you're ready, back to warrior 2. Set your hands down. Oh, take that front leg, set it forward. Wonderful. So now we're going to toe heel the feet, bringing them back in closer to center. Nice. Beautiful. We're going to do a series of 2 trees today because sometimes we start off with our tree and we're feeling a little wavy, it's a little windy, and sometimes the wind starts to die down. So we're going to take that as our tool today. We're going to use this idea of being here now. So if you're new to tree, I like to use the tree with a yoga block, especially if you haven't done it in a while. If you feel like you need to be near a wall, I highly encourage you to do that. So there's nothing wrong with using a wall as some support. So if you want to use a yoga block and tree is new, you can set your foot. I'm going to do my right foot to start. Just set it right onto the foot, onto the ball of the foot on the block. And just start by lifting your heel. And from here, you can open up the hip. Now, this is if really new to tree, this would be a great way to start it. And then you can play around with your hand placements. So if you're familiar with tree and it's in your wheelhouse of poses that you're comfortable with, there's again 3 versions of tree. One is on the ankle, one is above the ankle, one is above the knee. We never want to invite any sort of pressure laterally on the knee, so we're just really going to avoid that space. Now, when you're in tree here, let's invite a little bit of this awareness of that inner pressure between the inner thigh and the sole of the foot. Maybe you want to play around with your hands. We've done so much arm work, but maybe you want a little more. Maybe you want a cactus and open up through the chest. Maybe you just want to remind yourself to be here in the now with your palms in Anjali Mudra. Now, as you're here, we're going to stay here for about 30 seconds. And again, take this opportunity to renew your commitment to just being here and now. Maybe if you're looking for a little something where you can always try to close your eyes, that's just kind of really gives us a little bit more challenge. Fantastic. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release the right foot. Shake that off. Nice job. We're going to do this series again. So if it felt a little wibbly wobbly, that's okay. Please, that's totally cool. I love wavy trees. So remember, it comes from the base. The base is there. It's nice and strong. Everything else is meant to flow. Go ahead and set your right foot down. And if you're using the block, you're going to set the foot on the block on the left foot. Left foot's going to come towards the ankle, the shin, and or above the knee. Again, there's a little bit of this oppositional sensation where the inner thigh comes towards the sole comes towards the inner thigh. And you might want to play around with your palms, with your arms. And for the next 30 seconds, just be here and nowhere else. Be in your forest. Soften your body. Settle in. And then slowly release. Nice job. Fantastic. Great. So we're going to take that tree pose one more time. And again, we're coming back to this idea of doing it multiple times to just get this sensation. We did it once. All right, let's see how that feels. Let's do it again and see how it feels now. So again, if you're doing tree and it's new, you can still continue to use your block. Maybe on this round, you want to bring your heel down or continue to use the block and see if you want to play around with your hands instead. Bring your hands or your heel, your sole of your foot up to your shin or above your knee. Now, if you're looking for something a little more, you can always set your foot, I can't quite hook it on there, but some people can, onto the inner thigh. I can't quite do it without my hand wanting to support me. So now my wavy tree, I'm going to make you laugh and then you're going to be wavy with me. Go ahead, play around with your arms. There we go. And maybe today we're just a forest of wavy trees. It's a windy day. Who cares? Take a breath. Settle in. and then rest. Nice job. Wonderful. From a strengthening standpoint, very, very strengthening for the feet and also, of course, for the legs. So really great work. Nice job. Last one. Let's come again to it. We're going to take about 30 seconds. Just be here. Nowhere else. And you know what? Sometimes being in the here and the now can last 5 seconds. And that's absolutely brilliant. So remember, if you're like, oh, like after like 10 seconds, you start thinking about, oh, there's dust on the wall. Oh, my dog's just chewed up another toy and then fluff is everywhere. That's okay. But for 5 seconds, you can just be quiet. That's amazing. Take it. Slowly rest your leg down. Nice job, everyone. Wonderful. Fantastic work. Just loosen up the ankles. Give them a little twirl. Wonderful, everyone. Well, now we're going to make our way down to the floor. So I'm going to do this just kind of working through the spine, but you can just come down in all fours, however you want to do it, go ahead. Make it yours. So sitting up nice and tall. Let's take a big breath in. If you want to follow along with me, go ahead. Reach the arms overhead, and then exhale, let them swan dive out to the side, slowly rounding ourselves forward, kind of finding ourselves in our forward fold. Slowly walk your hands out. And let's just come on to our hands and knees here. Let's just do a few cat-cows. Loose here through the neck, shoulders are nice and engaged, back is long. And go ahead and breathe in. Let the body open. And then exhale, let your body round. And this is really actually a wonderful movement sequence to just notice how every time might feel a little different. Also just noticing how you can invite the quality of a really nice inhale and exhale. We've probably done 100 million cat-cows in our lifetime. But every time we do it, they're different. Maybe the intention is different. Maybe simply the hands resting on the floor feels different. Maybe more awareness. Let's do one more. Wonderful. Let's come back to neutral. Set our heels, hips on our heels, press back. Now this time I'd like you to take your elbows in a little wide, rest your forehead down, tops of your hands. Maybe you come into child's pose if that feels okay. Settle down. Wonderful. And let's slowly make our way up. Now we're going to go into, oh my goodness, a 5-minute Shavasana. Maxine, this one's for you. So let's go ahead and I want you to make yourself as comfortable as possible. I'm going to grab my sweater and I am going to grab my socks and I'm going to get myself with my pillow. And today, with my blanket, today, if you want to, you may want to take a pillow or a blanket and set it underneath the crown of the head. And Maybe you want to take your bolster and set it underneath your knees. Now the purpose is really to be as comfortable as possible so that it can just allow you to be in this space. So the more comfortable you're going to be, the more settled you're going to become. So go ahead and do whatever you need to do. Now, I've heard, and I think I've told you guys many times before, that Shavasana is one of the hardest poses. Not for its complexity, not for its endurance, but for its embodiment of being in the present and being in the now. And it is the time that we come to Shavasana where we really try to set aside any thoughts of the past or any thoughts of the future, but just allow ourselves to be in this space, to allow the withdrawal of senses, our pratyahara, to dissipate from our awareness. So as you find yourself in your Shavasana, let us completely absorb the mat. You can extend your arms out wide. You can let your hand rest on your heart. Let your hand rest on your belly. And the only thing you need to remind yourself, if you find yourself drifting off into a catapult of thoughts, is that you can always renew your commitment to being in the here and the now at any moment in time. You don't have to be anywhere else. Deeper breath. Before you open your eyes, keep your eyes closed. Let's continue to take a few breaths in, just bringing some awareness to the body. And not losing the sense of being here right now. It's not a cue to say, all right, let's get going, let's go on to the next thing, but just slowly start to notice some movement in the fingers and just remaining in this space just a little while longer. Just slowly beginning to invite some awareness to the outer world back in. And then whenever you're ready, if you want to, you can roll onto your favorite side. I'm just going to be there a few moments, but keep your eyes closed. Just bringing the body with us, still in this space. And then when you're ready, let's come on. Keep your eyes closed. And when you bring yourself up, let's go ahead and find ourselves an easy seated position. Let's keep our eyes nice and closed. Settle the shoulders down. And let's scoop up the hands and bring them to the center of our heart, or our chest, I should say, in Anjali Mudra. And let's remind ourselves to stay present and to be in the here and the now. And that when you're off the mat, you can always take this mantra with you. If you find yourself starting to wander off in an untamed forest, which is that of the mind, take a step back. Take yourself back on the path and remind yourself to be in the moment, right here, right now. And that each moment can change. And we can direct the path. Let's close our practice off with a big inhale in through the nose and out through the mouth. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad, and may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. As always, from my heart to yours, thank you so, so much for coming today. I hope that you feel a little bit more of this sense of presence. I know that I certainly feel like I'm in this moment right now with you, and I appreciate you all so much. Maxine, I'm sorry I didn't mean to call you out on that long Shavasana. I think that was Jane who mentioned the long sleepy Shavasana. We'll have to do our Yoga Nidra in the next couple of weeks. But thank you so much for coming today, everyone. I wish you a glorious weekend. And as always, from my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you. Bye, everyone.